a comprehensive word. When we say religion, we think that's something we do on Sunday or Friday or Saturday or sometimes. When we say religion, we think that's something that we do only for God when we get afraid or we get broke or when we get drunk the next day. Oh my God. See, when you say religion, it has a limited preconditioning type of word. But when you say system, now everybody can relate to systems now. If it's only financial system, you can relate to that. System means comprehensive. System means an apparatus, something that functions, that everybody depends upon, something that needs to be maintained, something that is set. Something that has a criteria, something that is predictable, something that everybody can look at and function and be a part of. That's a system. Well, all the systems that man, with his mind, has made, don't you think that the Creator would have a system better than that? Man has made a camera. Look at the eye. Man has made a computer. Look at the brain. Man has made nuclear plants. Look at the heart. Man has created apparatuses to do different chemical analyses. Look at the kidneys. Man has created all kinds of instruments to remember, to detect, to do forensics. Look how the human body functions. And so, does man think that he can keep records on other men and on the world and maintain historical records? Does man think that he can do all of that, but the one that created him can't keep tracks on him? Does man think that he can be accountable, or that others are accountable to him, that he can govern you men, government, that he can govern you men, that he can create government, but that the Creator who has made the heavens and the earth does not have the ability to hold us accountable? The prophets and the messengers of Almighty God said to those at that time, to their people, that the system in front of the Creator starts with submission. Submission means peace, and peace is a part of prosperity. How can a human being have peace with another human being? How can a peace process move forward? How we can find a solution, a peaceful solution? How can nations have peace together when they are at war with God? Being at war with God is like being at war with your own conscience. Being at war with God is like denying your father and mother. Being at war with God is like denying yourself, telling yourself that you are not who you are. Islam, as a system of faith, is that system that is the natural progression of all the prophets and all their messages and all their behaviors that culminated in the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, that culminated in this Quran, that culminated in the system which is called Islam. It is a system of morality. It is a system of consciousness. It is a system of discipline. It is a system recognizing laws that regulate human conduct.
How can we know about the existence of God? How do we know that Allah exists? Really, the existence of Allah is a simple fact that nobody with intelligence can deny. Nobody with intelligence can deny that there is a Creator who created this universe and this world in which we live. Why? Because if we look at the universe, we see that the universe and the world in which we live is organized, that we have planets, solar systems, galaxies, all of them working according to very strict laws. Let us just take the earth on which we live. And this is something Allah, He tells us to do in the Quran, to reflect. to reflect, to contemplate on the creation. In fact, Allah, He says that in these things there are enough signs. There are enough signs for those who contemplate. Look at our earth. We live on a planet that science tells us today, the earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours. So the sun is shining, you can imagine that's the sun, and the earth is turning on its axis. So when this bit of the earth is facing the sun, it is day, and the other part of the sun, the other part of the earth is away from the sun, that is the night. So the earth turns on its axis once every 24 hours. Imagine if the earth was spinning very slowly. Very slowly. So instead of the earth spinning on its axis once every 24 hours, it spun on its axis once every 20 years. So imagine a day was 10 years long and a night was 10 years long. Yes? Because the earth is spinning slowly. What would happen? One part of the earth's surface would always be exposed, at least for 20 years, to the sun. And the other part would be in the shade for 10 years. 10 years and 10 years. So the sun beating down on the earth, as I'm sure you know, in Australia you get the sun here a lot. And Australia, most of it is desert. I remember flying across a continent that was really mostly a desert. Imagine this, there is no night. The sun is beating down constantly. You will have one part of the earth's surface will become superheated, and the other part will become super cooled. And most likely life will not exist. But the earth happens to spin at this beautiful, precise movement once every 24 hours. Not only that, it is just the right distance from the sun. If it was closer to the sun, it would be too hot. If it was further from the sun, it will be too cold. We have gases in our Earth's atmosphere. Oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide. In exactly the right balance for life to exist. Oxygen is essential for life's existence. But pure oxygen is poisonous. That's why we need carbon dioxide. And we also need nitrogen, which helps to fertilize the soil. We have a gas on the Earth's atmosphere called ozone. This is the name of the gas, the ozone layer, which is a gas, it is a layer of this gas ozone. And this gas happens to have the property of filtering out the harmful effects of the sun's radiation. Take away this gas, then radiation that would hit the Earth's surface would kill all life. Water is amazing property water has. When water is solid, it floats on the liquid. Meaning ice floats on water. Put ice in your glass of water and does it sink to the bottom or does it float to the top? Icebergs, do they sink to the bottom of the sea or they float on the top? They're on the top. But this is only with water. With other materials, it is the opposite. The solid sinks to the bottom of the liquid. But imagine if water had the property of all other materials. Imagine if solid water sank instead of floated. Then every river would be frozen from the bottom, the seas would be frozen from the bottom, and life would not exist. And we can look and look and look, and what we find everywhere is this precision. Everything is constructed according to a